Welcome to
The Neapolitan.
Scoop Podcast.
My name is Steph.
My name is Shay.
and my name is Rose. Thank you for tuning into the Neapolitan Scoop Podcast, where you get your weekly scoop. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, what are you waiting for? Go subscribe right now. Before we jump in, quick note on our content. Our content is created for adult audiences only. We do advise listener and viewer discretion. If at some point it becomes a lot, take a minute, take a breather, and come right back. Today's topic, let's go into that real quick. The current trash ass dating pool. So let's get to Shay for some questions.
Okay. So first question is, so when y'all were dating, what was the dating pool like at that point in time?
She said toast.
Who said toast? I said toast.
Her wife.
Oh.
I was debating if it was toast or latte.
Now I have
Sorry,
to
Shay.
Sorry, I gotta go look at toast real quick. Oh,
No,
okay.
you don't.
Hers look toasty. Look like they could be toasty.
They could be toasty. Sorry, guys.
Okay, let's okay. Ask the
All
question
right.
again.
So, and I got to actually ask the question because I definitely did not ask the question that was on the paper. But anyways, first question. So, when was the last time you dated?
Ooh, back in 20.
I date
12 or
every
13?
day.
Okay.
I date my husband every day.
Oh,
Y'all do
that's
be dating
awesome.
every day. They be
Yes,
going
you
out. I be
do.
jealous because I want to go out too. I want to go have food. I want to get some drinks. Shit.
Yeah, you
I
can date
think
yourself.
I think we date, but every time that my wife doesn't understand the concept of a date. Every time I say let's go on a date, she takes like her whole family. And I'm like, so the other day, it's funny because we were at the Sioux Lights, and that's when you and your hubby were out. And then I saw it, and I'm like, this is a proper date. This is what I want. I was like, I don't want to see your whole family go
Right.
on
I'm
a
not
date.
dating all of them.
Like I love them, but a date is just
Yes.
me and you.
But she's very family oriented. So to
Yeah.
her, it's like she wants her family around. I'm like, no, when I mean a date, I mean you and I in a quiet space,
Quality time.
having dinner, watching TV, doing something different than being with your family. Like, not every date
Yeah.
has to involve your family. But that's funny.
The question was, when was the last time you dated?
Yeah.
Uh,
For real answer. When was the last time I dated outside of my husband was probably in it was prior to COVID.
Wow.
2018 maybe?
okay. So I think for me it was 2012, 2013. So it's been a minute.
So when
Yes.
we say dated, is it like before relationship status dated, or like are you still dating because you're in a relationship and you're not married?
Um, it's a little bit of both. It's
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because if I could say I'm currently dating now, but I'm not because I'm exclusively with somebody.
Yeah.
But I mean, prior to that, I guess it was like 3 years ago. Actually, no, because I was in a relationship then too. So I would say probably 6 years ago. I don't know. I'm always with somebody. It's really hard to know
Okay.
when I'm single and when I'm not.
What do you mean?
There's always like a slight brief period of where I'm
okay,
single and it
let's
doesn't
go back
last
to that
long.
part.
Okay.
How do you wait, say that again?
Because, okay, so because I'm always somebody who's in the relationship. So it's like I don't really have long periods of time where I'm like, oh, I was single for 2, 3, 5 years. No, it's never
Yeah.
usually like that with me. Like my last boyfriend was I probably the man, that was like 5 years ago. And then I broke up with him and like maybe like 2 months later, 3 months later, I got in another relationship. And that's the one I've been in for 3 years now. So I'm not really ever just dating. I almost look forward, not that I want to be single, but it's like I almost
Well,
look forward to being single because
to
I'm
the
like, what,
dating.
but when I was single, even if it was briefly, I'm like, it sucked. And to my knowledge, just because it's like,
Mm,
So I guess you mean casual dating because you
mm.
have dating when you're dating your boyfriend, even if it's 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and then you have casual dating where you're just getting to know different
Other
people.
people, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was like over shit. And talking about casual dating, it had to be like when my daughter was 2 or 3, and she's
Wow.
9 now. So it's been a while for me in that era, I guess. But when I
Yeah.
was dating, it was not fun. Well, I mean, it was fun, but it was like I get attached to people, and then when they don't move how I want them to move, that's the disappointing part of it, because you try to like people, and then you don't want to like people because you already know what it is, but then you like them anyway because you can't help it, and then people let you down.
So see, that's the thing. Like when I start dating, I don't get easily attached.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like I gotta wait to see what you because people are already they're gonna always bring their best foot forward in the first few months or whatever, even the first year. So I'm gonna always be looking at people sideways. Like when I was dating, I always looked at people sideways. Like, okay, you acting nice now, but what's to come? I was in the dating pool life. I was definitely the person that saw the cup half empty, because I'm like, look, my expectations weren't high. I'm like, okay, it is what it is. But as years progress, now I'm like, okay, now I'm getting to know you. Now I see you for who you are. And now I'm getting into it. And so yeah, maybe that's a question we should ask. Like, do people fall into a relationship too quickly and start, expectations start being set early on to where it makes it difficult for the other person, or the other person may not be as serious, and this person's expectations are very high.
Right.
So,
but then I guess that's where communication comes in, that because even in the dating, where you still be honest with people and honest with yourself about what you want, and let them know ahead of time like what you expect, and hopes that they heard you when you said what you wanted, what you expected, and they don't think anything outside of that. Because people always think, well, they'll come around. They'll come around. What if they don't? They already told you they won't. So what if they don't? And then what?
And see, another thing is, I think a lot of people ignore the red flags. And it's like, yeah, a person, you might be telling the person, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. But at the end of the day, an individual is always going to go for what they want. Basically, if they want to get in your pants, it's like, okay, I hear everything you're saying, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get in your pants, and I'm going to do what I got to do to do it. And if that means making you believe all of these things are going to happen that you're expecting, then I'm going to do that. So, of course, I haven't dated in a while, but just seeing and hearing some of the dating pool stories, I feel like a lot of people just either jump into situations too quickly, or they get into situations with very high expectations and not enough. Let me see what this person has
what
to
it's
bring.
about. Yeah.
Right. It's like, oh, off the rip, I need somebody that's going to support me. I need somebody that's going to do this. It's like, I need. And it's like that other person is also trying to see what you're bringing to the table.
It's funny that you say that, because I was just talking to somebody yesterday, and I was like, I've heard that, all this stuff about the dating pool. And I'm like, I honestly don't. I was like, I don't know. It might have changed from when I was around, but he's like, yeah, because all these hoes want now is money. All they think about is money. He's like, but what are you bringing to the table other than your vagina? What are you bringing? Because your vagina ain't golden, that you can find that anywhere. So he's like, for men, it's like, it's hard to find women that are actually looking to date you as a person and not you as a cash account. He's like, because all they're like, oh, when are you going to pay my bill? Or when are you going to pay my telephone? Or, oh, yeah. He's like, you talk to them for a few dates and all of a sudden they want you to pay something for them. He's like, it's crazy out here for men too.
Yes. And I can see the struggle on both parts, because I hear the struggle from both males and females. And I can just see the struggle on both parts. We have a lot of males that feel like you said, women are gold diggers. They just after their money. Like, I mean, we had that one person that was in our DM saying,
our friend.
Yeah, saying, what's the point of me dating someone if all they want is a date
A
to
free
get a
meal.
meal, and now you buy them this $50 free meal and they think they're supposed to get some ass. And it's like, whatever happened to courting people? Whatever happened to, hey,
that should just be a part of the expectation. You take somebody on a date. The point is to eat. I mean, the point is to get to know you too, but it is to eat. So you can't be mad at me for eating at the table that you brought me to.
Yeah, I think what it is that people aren't honest with each other. Because, and it's funny because I say this all the time, and I'm sorry for people that know my wife and I, but when I started dating my wife, I told her, keep me fed, keep me fucked, and keep me good, and I'm gonna be okay. That's all I ask you. I said, keep me fed, keep me fucked, and keep me good, and that's it. Be good to me.
That's not a lot to ask for.
It's not.
I mean,
and then she laughs.
She gets some joy out of it too.
Yep. And then when she laughs all the time, because she's like, man, I should have known you were a BB. And I'm like, a BB? She's like, yeah, big bag. She's like, because you were honest up front. Like, she's like, you were talking about keep me fed. She's like, I had never had a woman
Not a big
talking
bag.
about keep me fed.
She called you a big bag. Damn.
But I am. I was like, I didn't lie to you. I told you the truth. I told you what my expectations in this relationship were from the get-go.
Yeah. And I think that's true. I think a lot of people aren't honest. Like, bring your honest self to the table, because that's who you're going to have to be and maintain throughout the relationship. You can't pretend to be one person and then 6 months down the line, now you're this different person, because this is not who I fell in love with. But I definitely think that the courting part has just like, I just hear like people, the expectations, like women want, I listen, me and let me see some of the dates that I've been on. Some of my dates haven't even been like at fancy restaurants, or they've been at a person's house. We're just watching a movie. Like, we go to the park, we go work out together. Like, those are dates where you
know what I won't do though? I won't have a first date at somebody's house. Like, I remember it was this one guy who, he was in my DMs from a certain social media platform. So I ain't gonna say which one, because I'll be on Facebook, I'll be on Instagram, I'll be on Threads, whatever. But he was cool. He was a cop though. And you know how cops are, they're very like, not demanding almost, but they're like stern in their beliefs and whatever. But anyways, he was just like, something about coming to my house. And I'm just like, no. He was like, you can cook for me. First of all, it's something that rubs me the wrong way about somebody asserting that they want me to cook for them on a first date. Like, you may come to my house, I ain't coming to your house. We got to meet at a mutual location. I don't care if it is Starbucks, but why you got to come to my house, and why I got to cook for you? Why I got to be the one to do that? Like, and
especially when you don't know each other like that.
And I don't know
we don't know each other like that. Yeah.
And it's like, even if it's like a little coffee date, that's cool too. But I'm like, you couldn't even think of that. You thought of, I want you to cook for me at your house. What? Yeah, no. That was a turn off. I'm like,
do I look like the help?
Right. Do I look like I'm supposed to feed you? I'm like your mama. Oh, you want a damn meal? Go get one from your mama.
But you see, that right there is a red flag that some people may ignore and be like, you know what? I want to date. That's another thing. People want to date so bad, like just be in a relationship.
Why?
Like, a lot of
people hate being alone. They don't like the sound of their own presence.
And that's a red flag. That's another red flag. A person who doesn't like being alone. Why don't you like being alone? You need to learn how to love yourself and do things for yourself before you can do something for anyone else. Like, it's okay to go to a bar by yourself. I mean, don't leave with a stranger.
And if you do, let somebody know where you're going. No, leave with a stranger.
In this day and age, don't leave with no strangers, because they crazy.
These days, even if your family have your location, it don't matter, because by the time they realize you're missing because you didn't pick up your kids because of whatever, you didn't check in, you already dead. So even if you think, oh, well, my friend got my location, it's cool. It happened to a girl. Like, she left her kid with the babysitter one time, and then she went out, and they had cameras showing that she came back to her house with some dude. She didn't end up picking up her kid the next day. So the babysitter had alerted the parents. Parents came over 7 o'clock that morning. She couldn't have been home probably till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Parents came at 7 a.m., found her dead. Took less than 5 hours. So it don't matter if somebody had your location. You got to be really aware of your surroundings. People you hang out with.
Just do background checks. I mean, it's very easy. Like,
so you at the bar. Hey, what's your name? What's your date of birth? What's your social real quick?
I mean, those are things you should know before you go to somebody's house. Like, what's your name?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just casual conversation. This is why I say it's important to get to date people and know them. Some people don't even know. Like, I don't know who I was talking to. And I was like, well, what's the person's last name? I don't know. What? And like, and this is all information that you can, how do you not know a person that
you're about to date?
That's like,
you've been dating for 2 months and you don't know this person's last name.
Oh no. That means you ain't asking enough questions. You just being spoon-fed, whatever they tell you.
You're not. Because listen, that's the first thing.
That's the first thing.
I don't care if I gotta type your phone number in Google. Google gonna tell me.
It's true.
When we text, when we talk, that should be one of the first 2 conversations. What's your name? What's your mama name? Why she named you that? I want the whole background.
How many brothers you
got
have? How many sisters?
Not why she named you that.
Because that's what I get asked all the time. They'll be like, "What's your name?" And I'll be like, "Oh, where did your name come from? It sounds like it's foreign or something." I don't know. Two people was fighting over somebody said they named it.
I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw your name, I thought you were Indian.
Really?
I thought your name was Fashaw.
I mean, why? Somebody sent me a video, a picture of. So they said, "Oh my God, there's your name on a police car." I said, "What? That's not my name on a police car." They was like, "Bro, I swear to God, your name was on a police car." I think it was the name of the fucking dog. Tell me why the dog, the K9 name was it was Pasha. And I said Pasha or something like that. Yeah. And I said, that shit was so close to my name. If they just added another H, it would have been my name.
I said
that's
Pasha.
Crazy.
Pasha, whatever.
It was probably the same cop you're talking about now.
No, no, it wasn't. It was
stalker,
not.
No stalking.
It was not.
The same stalker. He wants to remember you somehow.
He was so adored by me that he named his K9 after me, but missed the H.
Damn.
It is definitely important to get to know people for that matter. And like y'all said, I'm with Shay. On a first date, don't go to nobody's house. Meet somewhere where there's other people, like you don't know this person. All you know is a name and a face.
Y'all can go get ice cream. Y'all can go take a walk in a public park, go get coffee. Go get some goddamn subs. Go do something first, because people be trying to be cheap too on their first date sometimes. Some people don't want to spend a lot of money on just trying to figure out if I like you or not. So I can respect that. You ain't got to go to the most fanciest place on the first date to try to impress somebody. You can say, okay, well, hey, let's just get to know each other. Let's go for a walk in the park, grab some coffee. Boom. And now you can check the vibes that way without having to be in my house, without having to spend $100. Like,
That's true.
Right.
I was trying to think, like, what was my wife and I's first spot? I think we went for hot wings. I think we went to eat wings, like at a Brew Wings or something.
I like wings, as long as you don't mind me using my fingers.
I don't like wings.
But see, that's how you know somebody is willing to like compromise. Because you didn't like wings, but you went there for a first date. So that's a green flag.
You went there to get to know her.
Yeah, it wasn't about you. It was about, so that green flag.
I still don't like wings like that. She can eat wings every day.
So off topic question, not off topic, still on topic, but it kind of, I thought about it when one of y'all, I think it was Rose, has said about when people say what y'all bring to the table. Bro, I'm so tired of hearing that, because I feel like people don't know what they asking for when they ask that question. Because you can say, okay, what you bring to the table? A girl can say, well, I'm independent. I am resourceful. I have a degree. I have a good job. I have my own house. I can cook. I can clean. I can do all these things.
I don't think that's what he meant.
And exactly. So they're like, well, that's not what I meant. Can you coddle me when I want to cry? Like, that's what they mean. Can you kiss my boo-boo when I hurt myself? Can you wash dishes when I don't feel like washing dishes? I want to know, can you wash the dish?
I mean, that is stuff you got to know about relationship shit.
But this is the thing. I feel like, first of all, on the first date, those aren't the questions that you should be asking people. Like, what can you bring to the table? Bruh, you'll get to know that with time. It's a lot that I can bring to the table that we can't discuss right now.
Yeah. But I don't understand why those things also can't be good. Like, when you say all those things, those are still good qualities to bring to a table. But it's just like, okay, outside of all of that, what else can you bring? And I'm just like, it's like, be okay if I worked at McDonald's, didn't make no money. If I rode the bus, you'll be okay with all that. I mean, that's like somebody that got to depend on somebody too, because your resources are so limited. So it's like, okay, well, I'd rather that person because she got these other emotional intelligence qualities, and but I don't know. I feel like I would be that bitch than not be that bitch, in my opinion. But I don't know.
And we've talked about it before. It's standards. Like, just like you have your standards, I have mine, Steph has hers, men have their own. And I think men are just, from what my understanding from the conversation I had yesterday, is men are tired of women saying, what are you bringing? And they don't care about them being an emotional partner. They don't care about them splitting things in half. Like you said, like, they don't care about all those qualities you just listed about the stuff. They just want to know how much he gets paid. So he's like, all these bitches care about is about how much money I bring to the house. But when I ask them what your portion is, all of a sudden, oh no, I can cook. I'm a good wife. I don't need a wife. I need a life partner. And that's different. So I think that's what he meant. Like, people want to hear how much money they're bringing, but when it's your turn, like you said, they'll be like, well, I work at McDonald's. And it's like,
well, this dude on Instagram, he was like, men don't care about your education or your blah blah blah. He was like, all we care about is do you got good coochie, do you smell good, and something else, and some bullshit. I'm like, what? I said, this is from somebody who had gangbang in his title. Like, I'm not even about to talk to you.
First of all, why are you entertaining somebody with gangbang on their title?
I cut it off. I said what I said. I said, you sound like a low quality man, blocked? And I am done. Be blessed. Yeah, that was it.
I'm not even going to entertain it.
She said, be blessed.
Be blessed. I mean, that's my favorite insult to people. Be blessed, because you ain't about to stress me out today. Be blessed.
Mr. Gang Gang. Oh, Mr. Gang Gang.
Gang bang, whatever drug dealer you use.
Coochie ain't going to be forever. Eventually you get old, and what you're looking for is somebody who's going to be there with you through thick and thin. And you cannot find out who's going to be there with you through thick and thin
until y'all go through some shit that you got to get through.
Asking what you bring to the table, because somebody could bring the money to the table, somebody can clean, know how to cook, know how to do all these things, but are they gonna be there when your ass can't get out your bed, or when your ass can't go to the restroom? Are they gonna be there?
Must be nice, like this.
Understand the life you live. Ooh. All right, next question.
We were stuck at karaoke.
Oh my god, but we gotta go. It'll be the best night ever.
We do a drunk karaoke. We should
make it our next outing. Let's do that on Sunday. We supposed to be going out Sunday?
Yeah. Is anything gonna be open on Sunday?
Yeah, it should be.
It's Sunday. It's Houston. Come on.
Yeah, girl.
You don't never leave Houston on a Sunday. You should know that, because it's always something going down on a Sunday. They may close early, but Sundays still be late.
That's true. I found a couple. It says Glitter Karaoke. Let's see. It's in downtown. All right, let's proceed. Look at this karaoke spot.
Next question. Oh, it didn't change it. Okay. What do you know about the current dating pool?
I know that a lot of, let me see, from the female perspective, I get that men aren't, I guess, how do I describe this? Like,
assertive?
Affectionate. Like, men aren't very affectionate. It's kind of like men expect women to take care of them or to split the bill. Like, you don't have that chivalry. The chivalry is completely gone. It's kind of like, men don't open doors no more. They don't want to pick you up. They don't want to do all these little things that go along with dating. From the male side, I hear a lot of them say that, and this is actually from the male and the female perspective, a lot of people just either want to go straight into sexual activity. Is like, are we fucking or not? Excuse my French.
But it's true.
Or I'm ready to get married. Are you about that life? Because you ain't about that life, then we need to keep moving.
I mean, that's just that's a standard right there. That's like, hey, I'm not trying to play no games with you. I'm trying to get straight to the point. I'm dating you for a reason, and it's to get married. Yeah. I mean, but don't say I'm about to marry you tomorrow. That's like love bombing. Like, oh, I love you so much, I want to marry you tomorrow. That's love bombing. But if you
that's kind of scary too.
Relationship or the dating, and you say, hey, my expectation is to get married, I think that's okay, because that at least that's showing your expectation.
You have to think about it. When you approach somebody, when you first meet them and say, hey, my expectations are to get married, that puts a lot of pressure on the other person. Because now it's like, oh, you trying to get married. I'm like, they're probably not there yet.
And they ain't gotta be. And that's how you know who in your lane and who not.
But you don't know if you are that person that may change their mind. And they may be like, you know what? I may have not been ready before, but I'm ready now. And I think you're the one.
I don't know. Some people ain't got time to wait to change minds. You either know, like for me, I would date and I'm like, I know what my end goal is. So if you don't come to this dating situation with the same mindset, at least it ain't got to be, oh, you want to marry me right now. You could be telling whoever you're dating, it could be like 5 other people, 3 other people, but you want to weed out who is for you and who's not, versus trying, well, I'll figure it out. We can date until I figure it out. And you might never figure it out. You might never decide, well, you told me on day 1 or that choice was getting married, and here we are a year later and I don't still feel the same.
But
now you
that's where
wasting
those
my time
red
when I could have been
flags,
putting that energy into somebody
that's where
else.
those red flags come in play.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, okay, you don't have to wait a year to realize he's not there. You don't have to wait a year for that. You can see that without saying, hey, this is my end goal is marriage. You can date a person for a month and learn a lot about them. You know how we talked about reading people? You can read an individual and be like, okay, he's very immature, or he moves very quickly, or it's just the little stuff that you see in people's personalities that let you know what, he ain't for me. Because this, you can meet somebody and they could be like, oh, I'm looking for marriage too, and you're looking for marriage too, but that doesn't mean y'all are compatible. But y'all
Y'all
both
looking
looking
for
for the
two
same
different types of
thing.
marriages. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I say at the end of the day, you have to go through that phase of dating and getting to know people. And sometimes that requires wasting some time, but you have the ability to say, you know what, this ain't for me. I need to move on to the next one.
But I think like you,
Without,
go ahead, Sam.
go ahead, Rose. I was done.
No, go ahead. No, what I was gonna say, I think you brought up a good thing. I think people now don't want to waste time. They don't see it as an investment, they see it as a waste of time. But like you said, you have to spend that time to get to know a person. It doesn't take a full 4, 5, 6, 10 years for you to know, oh, this is not the right person for me. And I think a lot of people are just scared of ending relationships too, because they're like, oh my God, well, I've been with this person for 2 years and I've spent 2 years. And then they're go with I've wasted 2 years of my life. Well, baby, if you couldn't get that person right in 2 years, you ain't never gonna get them right. Like, stop wasting your time if you think it's a waste of time. So I think it's a lot of that. And I think from what I have heard about dating is that's trash. It's because of that. Like, women are expecting one thing, men are another. And it's like the women that want like chivalry don't look for men that are going to give them that respect that they're looking for. They want thugs and they want people from the streets to know street because they're going to give you what you want. They're not going to open those doors for you because they ain't got no manners. Right. Right. And then the same thing is like some of those men that are looking for those women that are going to cater to them. It's like, you're looking for sexy reds out here. Like, what? Like, you want a woman with big ass.
Damn, not sexy red. That's kind of far from what you want.
Right. But they want a woman that looks like sexy red and acts like sexy red, but they want her to be proper at home. And it's like, that don't happen like that. Like, you gotta meet people. You gotta spend the time to know them and be like, okay, is this gonna be somebody that are we willing to compromise? Are we willing to work on this relationship? Are we both willing to put in that investment? Because if not, then it's not for you.
How do y'all feel about people who get married within, so it's talking about marriage and taking time and investing time. How do y'all feel about people who get married like within 6 months of knowing each other?
I feel like to each its own. Like we just said, I mean, it could be a little scary because I'm a little bit more like, hey, I'm a little bit like skeptical about people. Like, I'm the one that's about to run the background check. I'm the one that's about to write down your license plate number, so I'm a little scared. But it also depends on the situation and how y'all met, you know, like, so
did y'all already know each other through the years, through friends and stuff? Like, have y'all been around each other and then y'all got together and then it just worked out that way? Because it can be like your immediate circle of friends and y'all just been knowing each other and then y'all date and then it's like, okay, well, I found my person,
Well, you know, but then where that's very common is like you'll see people that are older, like in 40s, 50s, 60s. It's like they've been knowing this person forever. They've been their circle of friends. And all of a sudden it's like, you know what? We were compatible for each other 20 years ago. It just happened so that we were in a relationship with somebody else. That didn't work out. And now you're like, they're married within 2 months. They're like, okay, let's get married.
That reminds me of those memes that are like, man, my what they say? My soulmate probably married right now.
But it's true. It's true.
No,
baby. Not your soulmate probably married right now, right on divorce, waiting to find you. He hit the wrong relationship. That's crazy.
And I guess that's what I mean. Like, you can't shake the dating phase and expect. It's kind of like you're at the base, at home base, and you're trying to get to third base without getting to first, second, and like skipping all of those bases. You can't skip all those bases and expect to get something successful out of it and win from that situation. So like I said, like you could probably get to know somebody in 6 months and be like, you know what, like you have everything I'm looking for in a man, everything I'm looking for in a woman. I know a lot of people who have dated for a year, 6 months. 1 month is a little bit. That's a little suspect.
That's a little crazy.
Yeah. But 6 months is like a half a year, and I know people who have successful marriages off of that.
Yeah.
I know people who dated for 5 years and then they got married and they only lasted a year married.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh yeah, I know a couple.
That's why you have to go through that dating phase, and you have to you have to be 100 with yourself and not be in denial about stuff. And like some people be like, oh well, I like this, but I mean, I'm willing to deal with this. Ask yourself, are you willing to deal with that
forever?
Yes,
because it's gonna get old.
I honestly feel like you can't know somebody truly. I mean, like unless y'all had that friend group for years, and you probably do know them and understand them. But if it's just somebody that you just met, are trying to figure it out, I don't think you can really learn that person in 6 months. I don't think you can learn that person in a year or 2 years. Like the first year is usually like that little puppy love stage. Everything feels good. Yeah. Everything sounds good. Everything's all happy. But then when y'all have that one thing that tests your relationship, now that determines who that person really gonna be at that time. That determines how y'all gonna proceed forward. That determines how y'all communication is. That determines how y'all handle conflict within the relationship. I think you don't really understand a person until y'all have something that challenges y'all to really see how the other person reacts to it and to see how y'all can bounce back. You don't find it out in 6 months. You don't find it out sometimes in a year. Sometimes you don't see true colors or like real personalities until year 2, year 3. I used to be somebody who used to be like, I want to get married in 2 years. And then I was in a relationship for 2 years and I'm like, nah, like this is not the right time to say I want to marry this person right now because I'm situated, whatever situation is, their situation is, how we are. I want to figure out what we can get past and see, I used to like people would have a time for I want to get married in 2 years, and if I'm not engaged to by year 2, then I'm leaving them. It's okay to have, but I don't know. I feel like you got to go through the valleys and the peaks with a person to really determine if that's somebody you want to be with for the rest of your life. Because I take marriage seriously, and I don't want to get married and then get divorced because I thought I knew somebody, but found out I don't know them.
Yeah, but you can literally date somebody for 5 years and not know them,
and that's why I have a deadline on when I'm gonna fucking leave.
But let's just say you have a deadline, and let's just say you say, okay, I have to be married within 3 years or whatever. You get to know them. I mean, let me ask you this: what's your ideal time frame for you to get to know someone?
I don't have a time frame no more. That's what I was saying. I used to have a time frame, but I don't know more. I just want to. I mean, you're saying you don't feel right.
You're saying you don't think you can get to know somebody within 6 months. So, what do you think is an ideal time frame for you to?
I don't know, like 2 years maybe for me to realize, like, figure out like how, like I said, how you handle conflict, how you communicate when times get rough. What does that look like on like from that person? Like, how is your attitude? Because you ain't gonna find that out when puppy love, y'all not even arguing about shit. You're going to find out how that person really reacts when y'all got to be tested about some stuff. And that ain't going to always show in 6 months or 1 month or 1 year. I mean, sometimes it takes 2 years for y'all to get comfortable. And then some shit going to make you very uncomfortable. Now you have to figure out, okay, like, just that person's personality. So maybe, I don't know, 2 years to figure a person out. Maybe longer. I don't know. I haven't thought about how long it takes me to get to know somebody. I just thought about with me having a timeline on marriage was 2 years, but then I realized that's too soon for me to say, oh, I'm comfortable marrying somebody, knowing we haven't had anything to test us to see how we can really overcome certain things.
What made you change your opinion of the 2-year mark?
Being in a relationship. Being in a relationship.
Is it just one particular relationship that you're like giving the person an extension? Or is it like you're like, you know what, I've been in a couple of relationships.
I think I've been patient with a lot of people. I've been patient with a lot of people. I mean, otherwise the last nigga wanted to marry me, I would have said okay when I know I wasn't okay with that. Yeah. So I mean, I didn't turn down a couple of engagements. I don't tell y'all about that, but I didn't turn down at least 2. They ain't formal, that was kind of informal, but I was like, no, not right now. It's not the time.
Okay.
So let me say this, because I'm gonna say this just from being in a long-term relationship, and we evolve every day. So I guess what you have to ask yourself when you're about to get married is, am I willing to deal with this person for the rest of my life? And you have to understand that this person is going to evolve as a person, meaning the person that you marry is not going to always be the person 5 years from now, because
Definitely.
5-10 years from now, we're going to be, I'm not even going to say how old we're going to be because I don't want to.
Yeah, no, let's not talk about age.
In our 40s.
I'm being my 20s. I'm being my
20 years older.
In our 40s, looking good. I don't know what you're talking about.
So I guess you just have to ask yourself, like, and that's the thing, like, when people say I want to marry my best friend, this is exactly what you have to think about when you're marrying somebody. My best friend, someone I can trust with my life, someone I can trust, like, that I talk to about my problems. If you can't trust your person to be like, oh, I had a bad day today, and be able to take the criticism that they give you and be okay with it, like, it's about evolving and thinking about not just yourself. It's like, okay, I have to think about my person, and my person has to think about me and my emotions. So it's like you are never going to know the person you're married because they're forever going to be changing. When we get 80 years old, they're going to get grumpy.
Bitch, I'm being grumpy too. I'm not
Mine is already grumpy.
Yeah, and you gotta be able to like get the cane and hit him upside the head and still be playful
about the cane.
It. Yeah,
you scooter. 80 years old in jail for elderly abuse against your husband.
Run him over with the scooter. My bad.
The scooter.
You know, it's like you have to genuinely ask yourself that. It's not about, oh, yeah, true enough. What they bring to the table is important, but somebody could bring something to the table, and when you're 80 years old, you ain't even got no table to eat at because this person has evolved into someone else. And I don't know. It's kind of like, I'm gonna use this as an example. Like Trump, you know, he's married to his wife. I don't see what they have in common. Maybe they're besties. I don't know.
What they have in common is he like money and she like money.
Exactly. But do you see that? He has the money. So he has something to bring to the table. Go ahead.
Funny story.
And she got the beauty.
She said she fell in love with him because he is very much like her father. But you have to remember she grew up in communist Soviet Union. So her father, she says Trump is very much like her father, and that's what made her fall in love with him, because she says he can take care of me. He's basically like telling her what to do, and she's just used to that. So to her, he provided everything that she needed, that comfort, that safety level. He gave her what she needed, and she reminded her of he reminded her of home. So that's what she said. She said, you know, he very much reminded me of my father. He's a strict man. He's a businessman. Her father was a businessman. So, yeah, because when I read it, I was like, all you were to him was a pussy. Because that's all he saw.
That's it. All he saw was a female with a vagina. He didn't know you. He didn't see your name. He didn't see nothing else about you. He just saw Russian, whatever she is, wife.
In so many words, in so many words, she found comfort in him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure this woman does not go to sleep at night and confide in this man. I'm pretty sure she don't be there sleeping on his chest, and he just brought that comfort because that's all.
He brought that security blanket. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. She was okay with that, and
if it's okay with her, hey, baby, if that works for you, if you like it, I love it.
If you like it, I love it.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. If you have to look for what you like.
Yeah.
Not what Instagram is telling you you're supposed to like, not what you're supposed to, what you think society is telling you is supposed to look like. It's like what works for you. You know, it's like, you know, a lot of people don't see the background of a lot of people's relationships. They just see what is
the good parts,
the forefront. Yeah, but it's like, it's a lot of struggles. It's a lot of arguments. It's a lot of compromising. So you have to realize if your person that you're dating, and you could see, like I said, it's the red flags. If y'all get into an argument and they start throwing shit in your face, and you know, hey, red flag number one, I can't trust you with shit I say.
Right.
If y'all get it, not this nothing, you could put people to the test. If y'all out and some shit pop off and he take off, he ain't somebody that's gonna take care of you if shit pop off. You see it already. You don't even.
It depends. It depends, because if you got yourself into that, I'm not gonna be fighting for you if you got yourself in the situation.
But that just
I'm not
tells
fixing to
you.
play those games.
Do it. Let them out.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
be like, you handle yourself because you got yourself in that situation.
in that type of situation, that's different. But let's just say you out and God forbid somebody try to rob you, and you turn around and your man gone. He down the street running for his life.
He deuces.
You are not. That tells you. And for some women, that may work. It's like, boy, I want to take care of you. I want to be the one fighting the battle.
That's
for some
true.
women, that works.
So, yep.
But if it don't work for you, then you need to go find somebody else. Because if that man did it one time, he gonna do it another. Trust and believe.
He gonna keep running.
He gonna keep running forever. He gonna run for everything.
Listen, he sees shit pop off faces. To each man to its own. You better burn off with him.
All right. So I asked Chat GTP, what's the biggest complaint amongst the dating pool? So Chat GTP said the biggest complaint amongst the dating pool often depends on individual preferences and cultural trends, but some common things include lack of clear communication. So many people feel frustrated by ghosting, unclear intentions. I mentioned that. That's why I say, hey, if you want to get married and that's your goal, say that. And if they don't want to get married, say that too. And y'all can just probably end it from there, because y'all path overall at the end don't equal the same. Y'all might have different versions of marriage, sure, and what that looks like, but y'all at least have a common goal at the end if you want to get married. Y'all ain't figured out how that was going to be, but unclear intentions and mixed signals. So, I like you so much, but then now I'm making you feel like I'm not responding to your text, but I done told you I liked you and how I really feel you.
You're being a narcissist.
Now the other one is inconsistent effort. So a recurring issue is one-sided relationships where one person invests more effort than the other. So does this person text you more than you text them? Do they call you more than you call them? Do you check up on them like they check up on you? Vice versa. Like, do you reach out and say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, let's go on a date? Are you always the one initiating that, or do they always initiate it? Or is it 50-50?
But see, sometimes, again, people change and evolve, because my wife used to be one of the ones that, like, I think that's what I liked about her. Like, I was very much doing my thing when we were dating, and she would just text me once in a while. I would text her back. Once we actually became in a serious relationship, like, she texts me every 5 minutes.
I mean, it's different because you got her heart now, and she don't want you fucking around.
But it be like that, and that's what I'm saying. You can't go based off of the first date. Like,
right.
So, like, I had this this person I dated, and we dated maybe for about a month or two, maybe a month and a half.
I gotta get through the rest of these, so just FYI.
Okay. So I had a dude that I dated for about a month and a half, and I'm saying this based on what you said, Shay. How you have people that, they start dating and they ghost you and this is that and other. But anyways, I was dating this guy, and this was after being in a 8-year relationship, I believe. So I was new to the dating scene. And the guy, we exchanged numbers, we went out on a date, and he seemed very like involved into it, telling you all those little sweet things they tell you at the beginning of the day, with the good morning, gorgeous text and all this other stuff, right? So maybe like a week into it, he would text me in the morning and then I would text him back, but I wouldn't hear from him for like the rest of the day, right? I've never been a chaser. I'm not chasing you. If you don't text me, I'm not gonna text you, right? I might check on you and be like, hey, you good? You don't respond to me. I'm not about to keep begging you.
Right.
So he would pop up whenever he wanted to and just text out the blue, and I'm like, first of all, you're not gonna pick and choose when I conversate with you and this is that and the other. Like, this is not what we about to do. So at this point, I get the message. Okay, you playing games. So I have to ask myself, do I want to play these games along with you, or do I want to move the hell on? At that time, I didn't have shit else to do, so I played the games. And we played the games together. So eventually I got tired of playing the games and I was like, okay, I don't want to play these games no more. It's very childish. So I stopped communicating him and I had another interest. So I had moved on. So I strung him along until I found somebody else new. And now I found somebody else new. So he goes a week without talking to me. This is a week that I'm over here entertaining this new person, right? He texts me after a week and was like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, hey, I'm good. How are you? And then he's like, are you talking to somebody new?
Damn.
First of all, sir, I haven't heard from you in a week. What gives you the right to ask me that? And I was like, well, if you want the answer, I'm gonna give it to you. I said yes. And then he was like, well, you could have told me that. It red flags, red flags, red flags. And like that there tells you, like, I could have been like, oh, well, you didn't do this. I'm not explaining shit to you.
Right.
I don't have to.
I'm
really
not there
don't
no
have
more.
to.
Yeah,
At that point in time, I know I'm not trying to
And
play.
I'm gonna tell you now, if we playing those games and I hit you up, you don't respond, and you hit me up 2 weeks later, I forgot to text you back. By the time you do all that, I be done found somebody else. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not about to sweat nobody who I only known for 5 minutes. Like, if you want to play, okay, cool, go play with somebody else. You about to be replaced. It's just that simple.
That simple. And that's another reason why I think the dating pool is so trash, because some of these people like to play games. Females like to play those same games, and people don't have time for that. Like,
and then you want to spin a block, think you got your same place, and it's been taken.
But
nope.
Some people will spin the block. Like, some women and some men will fall for that, and they just get strung along for months and months and months. And hey, that's why I say you can't ignore the red flags, and that's a red flag. If somebody not responding to you after they responded to you 3 days later, it's like either you got somebody else, you got kids, you got a family somewhere. Something's occupying your time.
All right. And then so another complaint is overemphasis on superficial qualities. So complaints about potential matches focusing on too much on appearance rather than personality or compatibility. Like that damn show they be on Instagram, that's on YouTube. They pop the balloon. Oh, I popped it because I didn't like your outfit today. Oh, I popped it because I don't know why your hair like that. Oh, I popped it because you wear a wig and the girl took a wig off. Now what?
And that's why they're still single.
And that's why you single, because it's just you not
looking for qualities. And then they be looking busted and disgusted.
Like, girl, your outfit came from Fashion House. Like, be for real. Not even Fashion Nova, Fashion House. You don't even make it look good. But they pop your balloon because you don't like this man's shoes. Okay.
Stop.
All right. The other one is time wasting. So some people express frustration over matches not leading to meaningful connections or wasting time with people who aren't ready for a relationship. So y'all telling people y'all want this and y'all want that and y'all really don't. So that's why you gotta tell people what you want, bro. Just tell them what you want. If it don't match up, then cut ties as soon as possible. Cut ties before y'all get feelings. When you get feelings, it's harder to cut ties. But cut ties as soon as you realize shit ain't working.
Cut ties once the feelings are there.
I mean, you can. It's just it makes it harder because when you have feelings, it prolongs how long you take to cut ties. But when you don't have the feelings, it's like, oh well, I don't like you anyway. So all right, cool.
Unless we got a kid together. Unless we got a kid together.
And we got a kid together, I'm cutting ties and I'm putting a restraining order. Leave me alone.
So do y'all think social media has a huge impact on the dating pool?
Which is my next one. It says dating app burnout. Because you know how like everybody be in everybody DMs on Instagram. They got all these dating apps and stuff. Facebook, you had a dating app at one point.
Really?
Yeah, they did. Literally, it just said dating or some crap like that.
That's funny.
But so it says the repetitiveness and transactional nature of online dating can leave people feeling disillusioned, whatever that means.
Upset.
And then the last one, it says unrealistic. I kind of thought that was already up there. Unrealistic expectations, a mismatch in expectations about the pace of the relationship or what each person wants can lead to dissatisfaction.
Okay.
So I know I had saw something, I don't know if it was on Instagram or somewhere, saw something somewhere where the man was just like, or somebody was just like, women, like a lot of the times they ask us, okay, a man will say, what do you want in a relationship? And they'll say, well, I want to get married. I want this, I want that. And a lot of the times the man would just go along with it. Oh, I want this too. I want that too. All because he's want to get in your drawers. Sometimes it's probably best to ask the man, just me as a woman to woman saying, if you're dating a man, maybe it's best to just ask them what they want and to see if it aligns with your goals. You got to kind of flip the shit on them. Like, ask them what they want. Do you want a house? You want a kid? What is your family life like? Are you family oriented? Like, ask them questions and see what their answers are. And I don't know, as a woman, it'll probably help you weed through the bullshit yourself. And even vice versa with the men. Well, they already do that anyway. You have kind of follow along to what we say.
Yeah, but I think like Steph said it a couple of episodes ago, it's also look at their family life. How are they doing with family? Are they a family person, or are they somebody that talks shit about all their family? Because that's
Do
gonna
your
kind of tell
research.
you like,
Some people can be family oriented with their own family and don't want to do that with you and your family. Some people they just only want to do it with their own family,
then that
which
tells me there's a problem.
yeah,
Because there's a
because how you
problem.
only want to do it with your family because your family clearly matters to you, but when it comes to not necessarily me, but just my family, when I want to go hang out with the cousins and the grandparents, and you're like, oh, I don't want to go over there, but you want me to come hang out with you and your grandma.
Red flag, red flag.
It's no compromise in there. You're not even being fair.
I'm gonna go find a little red flag that we can just wave on this red
Yes,
flag
please.
moment.
Find the red flag. We need a red one and a green one. And a yellow one. That means proceed with caution. All right. So thank y'all for tuning into our podcast. Again, if you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to our channel, like, and comment. We love feedback. While you're at it, follow us on all streaming platforms. Wherever you stream your podcast on, we are on there. You can also find us through Instagram and TikTok. Also, if you have a topic that you would like for us to discuss, or if you'd like to be a guest on our podcast, we welcome you. So feel free to email us or send us a DM. Don't forget to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you and see you next week for your weekly scoop serving. And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanks holidays. This is gonna
Happy
be December.
holidays. Happy
I just
holidays.
realized, yeah, I was about to say, I just realized like this will be after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Just edit that part. Yeah.
Yeah, we
If
just
I
say happy
can, we'll
holidays.
try. You know, it's a video. It's gonna be like, eh.
Either way, when we upload it to YouTube and somebody go replay it someday, they're not gonna know.
Yeah,
So.
that's true.
Well, now they'll know because we talked about how it was in December.
Listen, just edit it out. Just do that.
You're making my job hard. I can't edit out everything.
Well, I tried to find a solution for you. I was like, they won't know, it'll be you talking about, well, then technically they will. Okay. Pick a side. Anyway.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.